Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Now, I had been hoping to put online a video of passion fruit curd tarts and lemon curd tarts. I actually made them yesterday, but unfortunately I had a problem with recording on one of the video cameras, so I couldn't put that online, but I have put the blog entry online so you can still see the recipe and the results. You just can't have the video. So to make up for that, I've decided to make something called butter tarts. These are small little tarts, apparently originating from Canada, and they're with a short crust pastry and a filling which to me seems to resemble a treacle tart in England, but without the breadcrumbs that goes into a treacle tart. So anyway, we do this in a few stages, and the first stage is to make the short crust pastry. So for that, the ingredients are one, and I'm only going to make 6, so not much in the way of ingredients in volume. 150 grams of plain flour, 113 grams of cold butter, 30 grams of egg, and there I have 13 grams of caster sugar and about a tablespoon of cold water. And so, I also need half a teaspoon of salt in the flour. So just put that in the flour. And I'm going to put the flour and the sugar into my mixing bowl. And I'm just going to mix those around to get them a bit combined. And then I'm going to put the butter in. And again, I'm just going to mix that around to get the butter coated in the flour and broken into its separate chunks. And then I'm going to cut the butter into the flour until it's quite well combined, but there are still some larger flecks of butter. And to do that, I'm going to use this pastry cutter. Now, another way, this is to make a sort of flaky type of pastry. And another way I've done that, for instance, for my sausage rolls, is to shred the butter, have the butter very, very chilled and shred it into the flour and then just mix it up. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of the water, put it into the egg, and just whisk that around a little bit, pour it into my mixture, and then I'm just going to mix that until it all comes together as a dough. I'm just going to mix that a little bit by hand to pull it together. That's good. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll that into the shape of a log, And I'm going to wrap that in cling film and chill it in the fridge for an hour. And then I'll come back in an hour and we'll roll it out, fill our muffin tin with it, and we'll go on to make the filling. Okay, so I'm back with you, and the pastry has chilled for an hour, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that into 6 pieces. And the reason is I want to roll it into 6 separate chunks, but without overworking the pastry. And then, on a lightly floured work surface, I'm going to roll it out into as much of a circle as I can. And you can still see some flecks of butter in it, and I want to just measure that and cut it out about 4 inches round, and then I'm just going to roll that a little bit larger. And then I'll take it and drop it into the muffin tin like that and push it down, and it won't sit flat, it will crinkle, but having looked at various recipes for this, I can see that that's how people tend to bake them, crinkled up, so that's what I'm going to do. So, having got our pastry in, as you can see, it's not neat, but that's how they tend to be apparently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those in the fridge while we prepare our filling. And for the filling, I'm going to use golden syrup. The recipe usually calls for maple syrup or corn syrup, but I have golden syrup, so that's what I'm going to use. So the full ingredients are 82 grams of light brown sugar, 66 grams of melted butter, 1 medium egg, that would be large in the USA, I have 125 grams of golden syrup, 30 grams of sultanas, and I have half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of white vinegar in this little cup. And the first thing I'm going to do is to mix the butter, the golden syrup and the sugar together. And I want to whisk that until it's all nicely combined. And then I'm going to put the egg in and the vanilla and the white vinegar. You could use cider vinegar as well if you wanted to instead of white vinegar. And just mix that till it's nicely combined. So that's the mixture mixed, and I have my oven preheating to 200 Celsius, that's 180 Celsius with a fan, 400 Fahrenheit, and I'll get the dough from the fridge and we'll fill the cases ready to bake. Okay, so I'm going to fill these cases, but I'm not going to fill them right to the top, because as they bake, the mixture should dome up. It will collapse again later, but what I don't want it to do is to run over the edge of the pastry and get stuck. Whoops, I should have said drop some some sultanas into the bottom of each case, and I forgot. So I have two where I'm going to put the sultanas on the top. And we'll see what a difference, if any, that makes. They should sink, I guess. What I'm going to do is just poke those down. Like that. That will have the same effect, I guess. So my oven is ready, and I'm just going to put these in the oven, and I'm going to bake them for 5 minutes at the 180 Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to reduce the temperature to 190 Celsius with a fan, 190 Celsius, 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit, and I'm going to bake them for a further 20 minutes. So I put them in the oven, and then I'll come back when I've taken them out of the oven so we can see what they look like. Okay, so our butter tarts are just about to finish cooking. So I take them out. And there they are. As you can see, they've domed up. Now as they go cold, they will sink down, but I'm going to let those cool down completely, and then I'll come back and we'll take them out and we'll have a look at them. Okay, well, I'm back with you, and our tarts have cooled quite nicely. So I'm going to try to take them out. Now I have run my spatula round the edge of each one, just to make sure that they weren't sticking. As you can see, they sunk as I said they would. That's the way they work by all accounts, and I've seen that on the videos I've watched. Whoops, don't want to break it. Just put that little one back. In fact, I think I could probably lift them out like that. Maybe that's going to fall out. That comes out quite nicely. So I think they've turned out quite well. I'm not going to cut them just yet because they still haven't cooled completely inside. They should be a little bit runny or very moist inside, according to my sister. But I think I need to let them cool a little bit more so that they set up just a bit better than they might do. But that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the recipe, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen, as always, there will be a link to my blog where you can see the recipe, and I'll also put a link to it below the video so you can get to it that way. And I'll be back with you in the near future with another recipe. So until then, happy baking.